Hello, my friends. I am a single person. My family and my father are deceased. Today I will tell you my story that I never expected would happen to me. It started when I was 11 years old and did not go to school due to very bad circumstances. But my mother would sometimes make me sit with our neighbor to learn how to read and write. One day, when I was sitting in my room as usual, I saw my friend and neighbor Awa, who was playing in the street below our house, pointing at me and saying, "Come, let's play together." My mother will not agree. Try to convince her. Maybe she will agree. This time we will only play for half an hour. Okay, I will try. I am waiting for you. I went to my mother, who was in the kitchen, and said, "Do you need help, Mother?" "Thanks, baby. I'm almost done. Can I ask you a small request?" "Of course, dear. But promise me you won't refuse again. Please. First, let me know what that request is. Then I decide. I want to play with Awa. My girlfriend is in the street for only half an hour. You know that it is not right for a girl to play in the street. All boys, ask Awa to come up and play with you here. But we sit here bored and have no games to play. Didn't we previously agree that this matter is not up for discussion? Do you want to get angry?" "Of course not, Mum. This is my beautiful daughter." "Go now and play on your phone if Awa refuses to come." Good. I went back to my room again and stood on the balcony and said, "Awa," as I expected. My mother refused as usual and said, "You can come up and play together here, but the gameplay here is much better." I don't know why your mother insists that you always stay at home. I don't know. I tried to convince her, but she was not convinced, so I didn't want to make her angry. "Well, I will come up and sit with you in the evening. I'll wait." Some days passed in the same situation. One day I discovered that the bread was finished. I ran quickly towards my mother, and the idea of my mother came to me. "The bread is over." "Well, I will call your cousin Islam to buy for us, but I want to go buy now because I am hungry and helpless." "Why are you bothering yourself while my cousin, may God bless him, is buying us what we want, and I will ask him to bring it quickly." I don't tire myself out. Maybe I'm busy, and I never leave the house. Since the last time I went to the doctor with you, I already told you that I was worried about you, Esma. You are my only daughter, and I cannot imagine anything happening to her, or her being away from me. But I will not go away. I will buy and come back quickly. I swear the discussion is over. Go to my room now, Nesma. "Okay, Mom." I returned to my room sad, but I could not object. One day, when I was sitting in front of the balcony as usual, the doll that I loved fell from me and my mother was in the kitchen. I eagerly ran without thinking to get a doll, but as soon as I opened the door, my mother heard the sound of the door and came running, calling me. "Listen, yes, Mom," she said angrily. "Where are you taking us like this alone and without telling me?" A doll fell from me accidentally. I was going to go down to get it like this without you even telling me. Didn't I tell you before that you cannot go out alone no matter what the reason? But this is a doll that I love. I was afraid that anyone on the street would take it. Let him take it. So that's not why it's so serious that you disobey my orders. I will return to your room immediately, but I'm a doll mother. I will quickly get her and come back immediately. I told Odile, "This is your room before you. Don't be reckless. You will not take it again, and no one will bring it to you." I gave up and went back to my room, crying in grief over the loss of my favorite doll. Some days passed and the day came when my life changed. My mother had gone to visit our neighbor, Today is our friend Rukaya's 3rd birthday. I was sitting in my room sad until the idea came to my mind to sneak out of the house and take advantage of my mother's absence. And I ran quickly towards the house of my friend Rukaya, who lives on the street next to us. But while I was running, I did not notice the oncoming car. It hit me hard and I lost consciousness. I woke up in the hospital and my mother was next to me and she said eagerly, "Thank God for your safety, my dear. How are you feeling now?" "I feel pain in my feet. The painkiller will make the pain go away after a while. Don't worry." "Okay. But when I see everything dark around me, Mother, what is this in my eyes? He has afflicted you with a severe test to test your patience, my dear." "What do you mean?" "Unfortunately, you lost your sight because the accident was severe. They put gauze and a cover over your eyes to protect them." "How did this happen? Won't I see again?" "We ask God to heal you, my dear, and we do not despair of His mercy, but you are the one who went to the disaster with your own feet. When you left the house during my absence, you did not disobey my orders. Did you see what I was trying to protect Kay from? Do you understand now why I refused to let you go out, except with me when necessary?" "Yes, I understand, Mom. I apologize to you very much. I didn't realize this could happen." "It's okay, my dear. He will take care of you and you will be fine, God willing." Years passed until I was 20 years old and I resigned myself to the new situation. I was forced to always sit at home, to the point that I could not move around the house on my own, unless my friend Arwa came to visit me as usual at home. She started talking to me excitedly. "I brought you a very beautiful book. We've read it." I replied sarcastically, "How will I read it? Genius of your time. This is what's special about it. You can read it in Braille, but I don't know that method and where I went." "What are you going to do?" "I will open videos for you daily on the internet that will help you learn from them, and you will learn from them quickly." "Really, of course, my dear. Thus, reading will become very enjoyable and will eliminate the boredom caused by a lot of sitting on the phone. I don't know what I would have done without you, Arwa. I won't do anything. You would have found another friend for yourself, but she would not be like you. Certainly, I will not deprive him of you or you, my love." More days passed, and one day I was sitting down. I get so bored always sitting in my room, despite Arwa's attempts to comfort me. I rashly decided to leave the house while my mother was fast asleep. But I started to remove that cover from my eyes so that people would not be afraid of me. But the surprise was when I could see everything in front of me. I quickly called Arwa's friend to tell her while I was crying. "I see, Arwa." "Do you see what?" "I see everything clearly. Truly." "Are you kidding? How did this happen suddenly?" "I don't know. When I removed that cover from my eyes, I discovered that I could see everything." "Did God grant you healing?" "Finally." "I don't know." But at the last doctor's visit, his hope was not renewed. What he said was that the eye had suffered atrophy and there was very little chance of my sight returning. "I don't understand any name. How can you see like this suddenly?" "So, is it possible that you didn't lose your sight in the first place? Or was that doctor's diagnosis wrong?" "I don't know and I can't determine anything, but I need to know if your mother actually did this. I can't believe she would do that and neither could I." "Why would you do that?" "But I must know whether the doctor's diagnosis was wrong or what." "How will you know?" "I will go to the hospital tomorrow to check." "But what about your mother?" "She is going tomorrow to one of our relatives." I'll use that time to go. I wanted Mike to come, but you know I'm traveling unfortunately. But I will follow up with you by phone. I know, my love. Well, and indeed, the next day, I left the house and headed towards the hospital according to the description I saw on the internet. But I entered several similar streets and did not even know how to return. So I started crying. He saw a policeman passing by me and asked me, "What is wrong with you when you are crying here? Lost, and I do not know how to return home. How do you not know how to come back? Where do you live?" I told him the address and said, "This is the first time in my life that I have gone out alone. Where I was going, and why did you go out alone if you did not know the way?" I told him my whole story and everything that happened to me from the beginning and what I discovered. "Well, come with me. We will go to the hospital to confirm whether the previous doctor's statement is true or not. Then we'll go to the police station and talk about your mother if you want. And then I'll take you home. While this investigation will be useful, perhaps you can find out the reason that made her do this throughout the previous period." Well, I actually went with him to the hospital. And after examining my eyes, the doctor said to me, "Dear, are you sure that the doctor told you that your eyes had atrophy?" "Yes, sure." "Impossible. This is a wrong diagnosis. Your eyes don't have anything to even suspect atrophy. Does this mean he was lying?" "I'm sorry to say this, but yes. The policeman said I expected that." "Thank you, doctor. Let's go, baby. We will know everything shortly." Indeed, I went with him to the police station, and he conducted the investigations that he said. I know that what I'm about to tell you may shock you. But this is the truth that shocked me personally. What happened? The woman who raised him is not your real mother. What are you saying? This is impossible. Impossible. Relax. I just learned from the area where she previously lived that she is infertile. She suddenly moved from her and went to the area where she currently lives, and you were with her. I felt very shocked and kept repeating, "How is this? Surely something is wrong. She's my mother." "I'm sure I'm shocked, my dear. Unfortunately, there can be nothing wrong with these investigations. Did you know who my real family is?" "No, we do not know this yet, unfortunately." "What will I do now?" "We will summon that woman now and find out everything." Indeed, shortly after, my mother was called to the police station and was shocked. As soon as she saw my uncovered eyes and realized that I had discovered that lie, she said in astonishment, "How did you know why you did that to me when you lied to me about everything throughout these years?" "I did not lie about anything, Nesma. We know everything now. You're not her mother. You'd better just tell me the truth, so you won't be charged with kidnapping." My mother said anxiously, "What, kidnapping?" "I didn't kidnap her, of course, and I'm not a criminal." "Then why have you been lying to her all these years? And you told her that you are her mother, and who are her real family?" "Believe me, policeman, I don't know anything about her past. I found it near the house where I used to live. Maya took her to my house and waited for anyone to ask about her, but no one came. I decided to keep it with me and see to it, especially since I don't have children. I changed my house and lived in another house. I was careful not to leave the house for fear that anyone would recognize her and take her from me. After I became accustomed to her presence, she became the daughter I never had. And when she went out alone without my knowledge, my fear increased. So I decided to lie to her and tell her that she had lost her sight, so that she would not think about going out again without my knowledge. I swear this is what happened. My intention was nothing else. Well, we will search for its real people. But if it turns out the opposite of what you said, your situation will be bad. I'm telling you from now on. Well, policeman, you will know that what I said is true. I got up crying and hugged her and said you didn't have to do that. I also loved you so much and I didn't know anyone else. And I would never leave you even if I knew who your real parents were. I apologize, my love. I apologize very much. I know that I came to you without meaning to, but it was because of my excessive love and attachment to you. I swear to you. Days passed and the police could not find my family. I felt that they had deliberately abandoned me and that no one had kidnapped me. So I decided to continue my life here with my mother, who raised and cared for me more than anyone and loved me sincerely. And here my story ends, my friends. See you soon.